Hey, what's up YouTube? Mike the Manic Geek here, and today I have a little something special for you guys. Today, we are going to be taking one of the first ever looks at the Mad Catz R.A.T Pro X. This is their newest member of the R.A.T lineup, and it's a top shelf option, providing you an unparalleled level of customization, intuitive software, and what they claim is future-proof use. So we're going to go ahead and delve a little bit deeper into this product, show you guys what comes in the box, how exactly you can customize this product, and what it was like to use it, and whether or not we can justify this extremely lofty price tag here. So first we're going to start off with what comes in the box with this mouse. You get all your obligatory paperwork here, including a quick start guide, which I do actually recommend you take a look at before you really dig into this mouse. You also get all of the swappable parts that you need in a nice protected padded enclosure here, and you also get a nice little carrying case to go with your product. It's really well built, it's remarkably small, and it's got more than enough space in here for you to cart your mouse around with you and keep it safe and sound. Now when you first open up the case, you're also going to notice that there's a little Allen key inside of here, as well as a tiny little brush. This brush is used to make sure that the contact points for your sensor, as well as the sensor itself, remain nice and clean so that you don't run into any issues with the sensor communicating back and forth with your mouse. Now the build quality on this thing is frankly exceptional. You're dealing with an exoframe skeleton technology that uses a magnesium alloy metal, which makes this product extremely light at only 105 grams. This is probably the single lightest mouse that I've ever used in my life. Now you also have a really nice carbon fiber thumb rest on here, which is swappable for a different thumb rest should you desire, and it has 3 buttons on the side. One of them being your quick aim button, which gives you adjustable DPI settings for something like a first-person shooter where you need that extra level of control when you're aiming down scope. Now you also get this exceptionally long and really durable, really well braided cable. The color is a little bit of a love it or hate it affair, but frankly I think I can forgive that given that this is going to be long enough for pretty much any use case scenario. Now modularity is the name of the game with this mouse. You can swap out the scroll wheels, you can swap out the pinky rests, you can swap out the thumb rest, you can swap out the palm rest, you can even adjust the palm rest in and out to 3 different levels of adjustment, and you can even adjust it to the side a total of plus or minus 15 degrees so that it contours to the unique curvature of the palm of your hand. Now you're also able to swap out the feet on this mice. It comes with 2 sets of feet, one of them being a standard PTFE low friction plastic, but you also get these incredibly slick ceramic feet that come with the mouse for probably the lowest level of friction I've ever experienced on a mouse in my life. For me, this made all of the mouse movements here 100% precise and perfect every single time I used it. And they're incredibly easy to swap out because it's all run on a really strong, really durable magnet system that holds everything in place. There's no budging once they're on this mouse at all, so you don't need to worry about that either. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can also swap out the scroll wheel for this mouse. It does come with 3 different scroll wheel types, 2 of them being made of magnesium alloy, one of them being a more traditional rubberized finish. All you have to do is pry up on the mouse wheel itself, it'll pop up, and you can swap the textures out as you wish. Now, you'll also notice that there's a red screw on the inside of this scroll wheel. This screw is designed to allow you to use the Allen key that comes with this mouse to adjust scroll wheel tension to your specific use case scenario. So no more having to fight with a scroll wheel that's too loose or too tight for your usage needs. Now all the switches on this mouse are of course Omron. You would expect nothing less from a top shelf product. And they have a really nice click, feel, and travel to them. And I'll go ahead and demo that for you guys right here. Now you get a total of 9 programmable buttons on this mouse. You have left and right click, you have your DPI button, which does store up to 3 different DPI settings for you, which is a really solid number, which means you won't have to click this more than twice to get to your desired setting. You also have left and right scroll wheel strafe on it, as well as the aforementioned thumb buttons on the side. Now my particular product came with the Philips sensor. This is their PLN 2037 dual eye laser sensor, which has a lot of unique features to it, including sensor damping and surface calibration, so that you can tune out all of the undue vibrations or potential spots of warping on your particular mouse surface, as well as giving you the ability to calibrate it for said surface, be it a plastic, aluminum, or a fabric surface. You also have the ability to change the angle of your XY axis depending on how you choose to rest your hand with your mouse down on the mouse mat. This is really awesome for people that like to hold their mouse at a little bit of an angle when they go to use it, since for some people that tends to be a bit more comfortable, and flexibility is once again the name of the game here. Now you do get 2 other sensor options for this, your PixArt ADNS 9800 as well as your PMW 3310 sensor for those of you that prefer to go a little old school with your mouse technology. That's really one of the main selling points of this product though, is that you're able to hot swap out the mouse sensor as and when you see fit. And Mad Catz does plan on updating sensor modules for this as and when they become available. The interface actually reminds me a lot of a CPU socket on a motherboard in that all you have to do is line everything up properly, slide the sensor into place, and some really powerful magnets will hold the sensor in place to the point that it actually feels like it's fully integrated into the mouse. Also, I wouldn't worry too much about bending the pins for this, as they are actually spring-loaded and quite durable, so pretty much I wouldn't worry about that at all. Now, as for the way I personally configured my product, I stuck with the standard thumb rest, but went with the broader pinky rest because of how I choose to grip my mouse. I also went with the palm rest that has some added ventilation throughout it. Now, another important feature of this mouse is that it has hydrophobic surfaces on it. So for people like me that have sweaty palm syndrome, your hand does stay significantly cooler and the mouse stays much easier to clean as a result. And even for me being a more or less palm grip user, I found that the ergonomics for this mouse, as well as the added gap in the center of the palm rest area, not only still felt natural, but it kept my hand much cooler during my gaming sessions, which alleviated a lot of stress from me having to readjust my hand during gaming. Now, as to the software that Mad Catz provides for this mouse, it's incredibly intuitive and really straightforward. Clicking through this only took me about a minute to figure everything out, and the level of functionality and flexibility that you have here is really nice, allowing you to store as many as 10 different sensor settings for your individual sensors, as well as giving you individualized options that are unique to your specific sensor that you selected for your mouse. Now, the other nice thing about the software is that it is exceptionally lightweight and completely unintrusive. Through all of my use experience with this, I never saw this using much more than 18 megabytes of system memory in total, and it completely stayed out of the way of all of my other functions that I was doing on my computer. So kudos Mad Catz for providing some awesome software to support this thing. Alright, so let's talk conclusion with this mouse. As far as the performance on the product is concerned, this has got to be hands down the single nicest mouse this hand has ever touched in its entire existence on this planet. Playing games like League of Legends, Borderlands, other MMOs, first-person shooters in general, this sensor performed perfectly. Now, as far as general desktop and video editing use is concerned, I found I had to raise the DPI a little bit because there is just a smidgen of mouse acceleration present when outside of a gaming environment. It was strange, and maybe this is something of a placebo, but I seem to notice that at lower movement speeds just in a desktop environment, the sensor seemed to be a lot less responsive than when I was in a gaming environment where all of my movements were perfect regardless of how fast or slow I was moving the mouse. Ergonomics-wise, this is also the most comfortable mouse that I've ever used, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that you can custom tailor this mouse to be exactly what you want it to be when you want it to be that. Now, as for things like the swappable sensor, a lot of people might argue that it's not necessarily a needed function or feature, but the way I look at it is, yes, we may have what's considered perfect sensor technology right here and now, but who's to say that later on down the line there wouldn't be something else better that comes along that maybe would work better for your specific use case scenario? Or what happens if the sensor goes out on you? It's a much easier affair to replace at that point, and should you decide to switch sensors later on down the line, you don't have to swap the mouse body in the process. All you have to do is swap the sensor, so your hand is still acclimated to the physical dimensions of the mouse. All you have to get used to now is the sensor itself. Now, let's talk price, because that's really the elephant in the room here, right? At $200 MSRP through the Mad Catz website, if you're scoffing at the price for this, this product was not marketed for you, and it will never be for you. This follows the law of diminishing returns in that the more features and the more exotic a mouse gets, the more expensive it can get exponentially. Personally, I feel that for the level of engineering and quality that's built into this product, I personally can justify the price. And if I had $200 to spend on a product like this, this is pretty much exactly what I would be looking for, because it gives me all of the features, functionality, and customization that I could possibly want out of my product to make it as close to being my own unique product as possible. I mean, even if you're savvy enough with a 3D printer, you could even probably custom print some parts for this. I mean, they're very simple clip-in parts. Otherwise, they just screw in with an Allen key type screw. And that level of flexibility is something that's seen very rarely in any other products out there. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. A $200 gaming mouse, is it necessary? Do you feel that all of these features and functionality are worth it in this product? Like I said, hit me down in the comments below. Also, what's your experience been with Mad Catz products in general? Have you guys loved them? Have you guys hate them? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. So also, if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do that. Let me know what you thought about the video with that thumbs up and thumbs down button. Also, if you're feeling a little generous, go ahead and stop by the YouTube homepage. I've got that support button. Every single penny helps, guys. So, until next time, this has been Mike the Manic Geek. Cheers.